All Reason No Logic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by All Reason No Logic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. All Reason No Logic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by All Reason No Logic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. All Reason No Logic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by All Reason No Logic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. All Reason No Logic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by All Reason No Logic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Will be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Will be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Will be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic.
Alrighty, what chaos.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of a rough start for this one, but we seem to have it all sorted. Without Tom here, we didn't have access to a lot of our commands, which was an interesting way of doing this. I've also made sure to unlock that lobby so that people can join in the interim.
I'm going to quickly jump back and take off that spawn order, which is now going to mean 17 people on the outside after.
That's fine. It's only 17 people. It could be much worse.
This is what happens. 3 of us can't do what Tom does by himself, and then everything gets messed up.
To an extent, I think if we, because we all have pretty distinct roles. So, I take lead commentary. Twig is our best player, and Tank Tom is a technical genius. So we all do our best, but we aren't always perfect at that when we're missing someone, and we sort of rely on each other very heavily to do the things that we don't do ourselves.
I'm feeling lonely with a space in between us, Pro.
That's all right. We can collapse on that lane and see what happens.
I'm just worried.
Just
to give
just
Ollie
let us
shit.
know in
He's
chat
fallen the last
so
3
long
weeks in
as,
a row, so better not do that this time, Ollie.
He's also had a lot to deal with the past couple of weeks.
He keeps picking the same spot as well, the same lane.
I thought last week he didn't fall. He just had the defenses a little bit further back.
The last couple of weeks, Kings have lost every time.
Really?
But yeah, I meant first to fall, maybe second.
I was in it last week, I thought, and I won, didn't I?
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
so-
Last week we did. The week before,
Yeah.
when we didn't know about the tweak, that update.
Yeah.
That was when we roll.
For those of you wondering, the reason the bonuses are up a bit is because the reclaim has been evened out. So if you spend 3,000 money on a lab, then you get 3,000 money back when you reclaim it. Whereas the week before that, you got 3,000 plus the bonus, which at that time was 45%, so about 4,500, which is quite a bit of a difference.
And my apologies, Ollie, you did do OP last week. I just completely forget everything these days because I'm a zombie.
You should see how hard this man's been working. Also, just if anyone in the official chat can just let us know that you can hear us, that would be greatly appreciated. But yes, Twig has been working both ends towards the end of Christmas. That's what happens when you're busy being an engineer, and then in the background having a baby, doing this, and then also putting a floor into a house, which is not the easiest thing. I know I've certainly done it in a rush before, and the results were passable, but what Twig's doing is schmick. Thank you very much, Rovenda.
Low power.
So, standard build for me. For any of you that have ever watched me play this before, you probably know exactly what I'm going to do.
I'm enjoying this Christmas music. It's calming. Very calming. Unlike my bottomed out energy, that's not very calming.
I mean, we got 13.6. We should be fine.
Yeah, I went off of 2 wind and it just hasn't been enough.
It's never enough.
Now it's too much energy. I always forget where I am. This one.
Low power. Enemy
Every week
commander
playing in a different
destroyed.
position, you kind of like forget the orientation you need to build your base. I had one week where I like completely forgot where I was and I kind of built it so that my eco was fully exposed on one side and then I really well defended the hill on the other side that no one attacked us.
Excellent. Very nicely done. So, for those of you wondering, my standard build just usually starts with those 4 construction turrets. I find that it's a nice balance between the build power that I need and then...
Enemy units
Oh, I'm
spotted.
getting attacked.
Gotta hit that pause.
Battle paused.
Somebody doesn't know the rules.
Somebody did not read the rules.
I'll quickly post them again, even though they're all in the welcome message for everybody, unless they got overwritten. If that's the case, though, just bad luck. You should know the rules, even if you've never played this before. Read our minds.
Correct. There we go. There are those rules being posted in. And I'm just going to be reliant on, hey, Ollie has 2 people.
Wait, what?
All right.
Interesting.
Battle resumed.
There we go. And it looks like this is going to turn into essentially a no harm problem, which is great.
Enemy commander destroyed. Friendly commander self-destructed.
No, not the overflow.
Not liking, I can see a few tough opponents in my line. Not likey at all.
Friendly commander self-destructed.
Right, let's see if that was about the right amount. It was.
37 win that time.
Your team reached Tech 2. Enemy commander destroyed.
Alright, this is going quite well.
How are you going there, Paradis? You're doing very well compared to me. Holy moly. Do you go 2 or 1 T2s? You go just the 1.
Just the one, and I usually eat it too, but I haven't needed to this time. I'm build power starved, not anything else.
Units detected. Low power.
Nice, that was nicely calculated.
Ease the energy. It's not going good for me.
Oh, 7 minutes. This is going quite well. Oh yeah, we're at plus 60, that's why.
3 opponents against each, though.
Yep. If I had the metal, I'd risk it for an aphis, but I don't.
The whole team is wasting energy.
It happens when you're not fast enough building.
Just not enough conversion, evidently. Eight minutes is not a lot of time.
One minute left.
Not loving that. Looking at what I'm up against.
I have the second highest OS over here, Mango. I can see, who's that? $30 more seconds. Probably should have gone into 2 fusions like everybody else.
Probably would have been a good idea, yeah.
Or potato with the big old SAR.
I'm scared.
Lava level dropping.
Okay, I don't think I'm getting attacked straight away, which is phenomenal for me.
Samesy. Love that.
Yeah, I love that. That's not something that you should really consider doing if you're a
Unit lost.
if you're a peasant.
I should keep scaling, that would probably be a good idea.
Tech 2 unit detected.
Correct.
Is that on my line? Did I just hear a sniper?
I'm unsure if you did or not.
Yep, I did. I definitely did.
Well, that explains what happened to your lane. I'm being greedy. Oh dear, that's... Oh no, yeah, you'll be alright. You'll be alright. Must build faster.
Oh no, I put repeat on the. I did it time. I put the repeat on the jammers and stuff.
Oh no.
Oh no, Ollie's lost his lane. It happened again.
Oh no. Looks like we'd better get our hurry up on, hadn't we?
I beat one lane, but just as that's happened, they have come to do their thing. Okay, yeah, you guys better win. Quick smart. This is going to be 4 versus 1 up here.
Yep.
Enemy commander destroyed.
Alright, what do I need? I think I put a unit in here that I could actually do this with.
Enemy commander destroyed.
Yeah, you guys gotta win. I ain't betting this. I ain't betting this. That easily anyway.
There you go. I got some big punching doing now. Ticks are strong, and it looks like Duffy's winning his lane as well. I was
Oh.
allowed to cook,
Because
which
I'm
you should never let me do.
like, struggling against those guys.
Base under attack. Lava level dropping.
I know that's the com, and that's okay.
Destroyed.
I see it, I see it. Maybe I should build some more of this. Fat boy. Interesting. No. God damn. Alright, I need more spam. I need to expand my eco. A lot.
This is how a zombies movie starts.
I unfortunately didn't get the medal out of that last one. You are going to be clutch for clearing your lane, Potato. Same with you, Pradith. Come up here.
Yep.
5 players on my doorstep. I'm just going into full defensive at the moment.
Yep.
Welders and shit ready to defend a definite slaughter, and they're just moving around. I see that. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it. Commander is going invisible, ready for that. Here they come.
Your team reached Tech 3.
No, it's alright. That was cleaned up quite nicely. LLTs actually do really well, people. Really freaking well.
Lost.
Thanks, potato.
Right, we be scaling.
Here they come. Here they come. Let's go. Win. If you can go up there, Prados. Here
I'm
they
going,
come.
I'm going.
Here they come. Here they come. Yes, feed the metal. Feed the metal. I see all the spiders there. You see them?
Spotted.
Send the
Yeah, I
things this
saw the
way.
spiders.
Send them this way, Prados.
I'm sending. The spam is just
Why?
needing a redirect.
It's delayed on my end. They are about to crawl up and over. Oh, actually, they're changing. They're going for Duffy. They are going for Duffy.
It looks like I'm going to intercept them. Get in there, boys. Ticks for the
Pixie.
win.
So good against spiders. So good.
Collected.
I want to go to those. Something different.
Enemy commander destroyed.
Alright, sweet. Get up here. Claim that. Claim all that. Thank you, potato. What do you mean 55 was too high last week, so went 60 this week?
We
And
barely,
we
we
barely-
barely won with 55 last week. Oh dear, that's
This
some
is-
big shots.
This is a
Those are
closer match.
vanguards.
Yes, that is. I think Kakado is very big right now. Yeah, the team was a bit OP this time. Duffy did not break very easily. His line. Okay, I think I got enough to push out now. Yes, pop it, pop it. Don't know why he's building these. They're not allowed to be used offensively.
The whole team is wasting energy. Base under attack.
Oh, I got Razorbacks in my base. Did not see that coming. lucky I have stuff. Yeah. And we'll sack the lab for the killing of a razorback.
Okay, so there's nothing really up there, is there? Alright, I'm overflowing wealth to everybody now.
Nice.
Enemy commander destroyed. Tech 3 unit ready.
Where can we get in? We can go through there and then like that. Is it doing alright over there on that other side?
Commander taking heavy damage. Unit received. Commander under attack. Unit received.
Where am I receiving these units? Nice. Ah, whoops, I just ended the build queue. Let's clear this up.
Nice, we've cleared that up.
The whole team is wasting energy.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Alright, well, I'm spending lots, but I'm also struggling to spend it all, so everyone's getting a bit of overflow, which is nice.
Potatoes balls. That's your balls. They're gonna just roll straight through. They actually do quite well against even these hardened big
I'm
boy
hoping they'll roll
razorbacks.
straight through. I've been building them for a while.
And I'll see well if you distract them. I'll just like run around the back and try and do some damage with a.
Okay, I was
Printer
I
with
was
no
going
health
with a
left on
similar
it.
strategy, but I guess I'll just punch through.
There's Orats.
Enemy commander destroyed.
We've broken the line, I think.
You have indeed. Here comes the
Unit
BAMs. Thank you very much. Taking care of me, potato.
Oh wow, those bulls are still going.
And green on the right has done great. Psycho on the fridge.
Yeah.
Fringe, that's why.
Psycho's
That's why.
Psycho's great though. but getting overwhelmed now by spam. Yes, yes, it is the March of the Vanguards. The Vanguards and the spam.
Friendly commander destroyed.
Let's sprinter rush against these guys.
Destroyed.
That was the last gone.
Was it?
No, it wasn't. Oh,
Enemy
I just,
commander.
for
No,
some
no.
reason, just deselected my units. Must have misclicked.
You are overflowing metal.
The Vanguards cometh.
No, not Stu Dubs. Stuart Williamson. Ah, that was terrible. That was my Razorback. Oh well. I didn't even know that was mine. I thought I stopped making them. Okay, build power, build power, build power. There we go.
The many tendrils of Vanguards. I mean, look, technically with the two of you, you still weren't able to win, so I'm gonna call it I'm gonna call it okay.
How'd they even get two on a team? Was there a join us vote?
I think they just got. I think it might have been some nightmare trickery. Question is, where is that last com?
Hiding on an edge somewhere. Span it wide. It's probably down near your base or something. Get those
Possibly.
radars up.
Okay, so it's oh no, it doesn't have to be blue. It might not be blue.
Maybe if that. Oh, there it is. It's Psycho Pew Pew.
There we go.
Alright.
Looks like the Vanguards have locked in.
Enemy commander destroyed.
There we go. Did you?
Okay, we'll lower that down next week. Back down to. I mean, originally it was at
We
the
thought with 17 it would be a bit. But that extra 5% gave me 2 fusions instead of 1 compared to last week.
I mean, I still only got the one. The bonus we had on earlier when it was just the standard 10 versus 5, that was what we tested it out based on the previous 2 weeks. All right.
Also, the other thing
I'll do the
thing to bear
command
in
for the next
mind,
map.
I was left unattacked on 2 fusions and went into an APHIS before I got I got attacked at about 12 minutes by some tier 1 units, but by then I had tier 2 defenses. So it's sort of if you don't go at 10 minutes, you give the kings a huge advantage.
100%. Okay, we're doing the throne with the dry sea. Copy that. Actually, I think if I set it team, it stuffs everything up. So I'll do it without the team command this time. And copy this across. That did not work, did it?
So for those of you that are wondering, we are without Tank Tom, and even though Tank Tom might be a little quiet during the lobby times, there's a very good reason for that, because he is 10 times better at organizing stuff than we are. We each have our strengths, and Tank Tom's is by far, well, Tank Tom has sort of been forced into that role because I talk too much and Twig plays too much. But he's taken it and he's rolled with it.
I'm worried because there was an advanced setting with the lava in the previous one that I need to clear those tweaks. Is chronographer around? I don't see chronographer.
I think if you override the tweak, it's the same thing.
But I didn't because it's a separate setting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to just clear it and then reapply these. Apologies, everyone. Just going to screw this around. As Prey said, though, very much B grade for setting these up without Tom.
And with almost no question of a doubt, Twig is going to accidentally spec or ban someone. Because that is something he is very well known for.
Probably when I'm trying to apply a bonus or something. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't screw it up. We just need to open this up to more players because it's at 16. This is the problem with event mode.
I did unlock it before the game started, like when the game started.
This
no one can join because it's set to 16 players at the moment.
This is the problem when the event mode gets put on. Instead of just applying a general open up the lobby, it means if we apply a chronographer's map settings, it clears the event mode by the looks.
Ah, okay.
That's what it's appearing as anyway. And he is AFK. Just bear with me while I directly message. Actually, how would we know if event mode's on or not? If I can boss someone? No, I'm not able to boss. So why is this not open up to more players?
Let's see if I can.
Maybe it's something you can do, Prey, with your extra abilities.
Try, yeah. So that'll give me the command.
I mean, no. Oh, it looks like Nightmare's back now. There you go. Oh, it was unlocked player. Everyone try and join now.
Ah. There we go. That's a bit better.
No, we've still got people in spec. That team size 200. Not allowed.
If I try 32.
Wonder why it is not working. Oh, there we go. Something happened.
Okay, so I was allowed to set it to 32.
But not.
What about 64?
4 would be ideal.
I can do 64.
Okay, that's what the problem was at.
There we go. Problem solved. Problem solved.
I think I'm going to spec the next one. Sorry about that, everyone. That is the way it is, though, when we have no idea what we're doing. Let's check out
what does that do, Hurricane? Hold on, just let me try that one out. What is it? Alt. Where are the F keys? So I pressed Alt, F, and 4, and it hasn't done anything. So I'm not sure what that one's supposed to do.
Okay. What do we have? We have 27 versus We want 7 in the middle. The bonus for a standard game of this, which is 30 plus versus the 7, that sees a bonus. Last week's games are really close, by the way. And the bonus on throne was 65 for that one.
So since we're under that, how about a bonus of 60?
By the way, if anyone wants to jump down and play in Team 2, play as a king, jump down there now. We will rotate people out if there is demand for playing as a king. But right now, I'm just going to do a bonus of 62 for the new ones so I can see who we're rotating out. Rosie technically was in the last one.
But if there aren't more kings, then whoever's down there gets it, regardless of how many times they've played.
Yep, so right now we got spot for one more. We do need a couple more. If we got less than 30, it is potentially worth doing the 4 versus the rest.
That didn't go so well last week.
That is, I think.
But then again, that also
it was players that we hadn't seen.
One of the problems was we had a lot of commie eco against the 4.
Yeah, that as well.
A lot.
While this gets set up, I'm going to just quickly take a break. Once we get 30 players, we should be able to kick it off. Just need that one more king.
There we go. Looks like Scavs jumped down, which will give us what we need. And then I reckon we will kick this one off. All right. Well, I'm going to chuck this one a forced start, so nobody else do that. Inconsistent. Inconsistent. All right, let's see. What have we got? Oh, that's a lot. Oh my god, that's a lot. All right. Set ID.
Holy moly, that's going to take 20 minutes to fix.
It won't. I just don't know what I just can never remember what the command is.
It is. Explanation mark force name ID.
That's right.
We could just call a balance. That's a good point. Duffy just shouted, given how many there are.
Yep, looks like that has been what's done. If you can move yourself back up to your teams, we'll start moving people as well.
All right, I'm going to finish what I was doing while I overheard that you needed to assign IDs.
All right, that worked quite well. Nice. All right, sorry about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to our regularly scheduled program, and we're no longer doing Lobby Sim. And it looks like it's turned out as a 32 versus 7, which is quite good odds for both teams, I reckon. If the peasants can keep the kings from ecoing hard early on, they won't scale too hard. But if the kings are left to do their own thing for a little bit of time, then it will definitely start falling into the king's favor. But bear in mind, the kings have a lot of space that they need to work their way around. So even if they kill an entire section, hell, even if they kill an entire quarter of the map, it's about the same as taking out one king. So make sure that you work those ones out. Twig's going to post the rules as soon as he gets back. The rules are in the welcome message, but he's going to post them again just for you. Now, on the just as a bit of a rundown while we're waiting, if you're playing as the kings and you're on one of these wings, do try to build your explosive eco sort of in this 9 grid over here, because there will be spiders coming over the cliff almost every game. There'll be vanguards down here doing their thing. There will be Shivas lobbing missiles over. Lots of good fun. Another really big one, if you do build defensive structures, ensure that they do not shoot beyond no man's land. So if you're a peasant, do not let any of your structures shoot past these cliffs. If you are a king, do not let any of your structures shoot past these cliffs. So defenses are good, they're needed, but you have to make sure that you play them well. If you're building something like a Janus, if you're building something like a Catalyst or an EMP, then make sure that you do not use those offensively, use them defensively. So for the kings, make sure that you do them inside of no man's land. For the peasants, make sure you do them inside of no man's land, not each other's bases. If you're starting around the outside of the map, you're going to have a bit of a tough start. Make sure you eco really well, but you're going to be one of the deciding factors, because you'll add that extra bit of oomph to the peasants to overcome the kings. Now, looking at these spots over here at the ramps, kings, you probably want to eco until you're at 7 minutes, because any money spent on your defenses before that is going to be a bit of a waste, because it could have been eco. And if you're in the middle, make sure that you eco as hard as you can. The 3 players around the outside, the 3 players on those ramps, if you can help the player in the middle eco, they will give you a T2, and that we've found to be quite a good strategy. Players around the outside probably want to build their eco themselves. Looking around the map, it does look like we've only got one co-op spot going on over here in the bottom left. So we will see how that one plays out. Oh no, one up here as well. So it does look like we're going to have the Kings are going to have a good opportunity in this one as compared to some of the more recent ones where we saw a lot of every single corner basically doing that co-op eco.
I like seeing the communication in the middle as well. We haven't seen the Kings win this one in... Oh, I actually don't think there's been one since the update. I don't think there's been one for a couple of weeks before the update as well. So it would be good to see them rolling out.
The Kings do have the tools to win this one, but the Peasants have some pretty oppressive tools to keep them wrapped up in their base. So we'll see this one starting up in just a moment. We might want to grab a force start on this because it doesn't look like we're... I might be able to force start it. There we go. Hello. Wait. Hello and welcome everybody to King of the Hill on Throne. You're joining us today for a slightly smaller game of 33 versus 7, but what a 7 they are, with representation from Newt, Grumpiness, as well as Cookie right up in the top, plus some regulars. I reckon we're going to... Oh, and Creed as well. It means we're going to be having a very strong hill to crack, and we need it. The Kings have done a really good job in recent games of pushing themselves out in at least one sector and rolling it into one more, but they just have not been able to convert that into many wins recently. But they've got the tools to do it with a plus 60 bonus, provided that they stay alive long enough to roll that economy, and provided that they actually get the opportunity to roll that economy. We could be seeing some pretty strong pushes out of them. But for the peasants, we have plenty of co-op corners in this bottom left-hand side, led by an AllReasonNoLogic regular. Oratab is going to be helping get that Geo down, and we'll see how well they can all work together. Sub 2 minutes for those T2s is something we've seen reasonably often in some of these corners, but a few of those players are up the top tonight, and we'll see how that one goes. Quick rundown, if you haven't seen this before, of the rules. So we have a no rush 10-minute timer. The lava disappears at the 10 minutes for that one. We've turned air off. We've made some slight tweaks to T2 units so that the Kings do stand some chance. Things like the missile artillery at T1.5 and T2 is gone. That means that you can't just line up arbiters around the outside of the map at 10 minutes and completely nuke a king out of existence. But basically everything else is fair game. Oh, and there is no long-range LRPCs. Something to note, and this one is a pretty important one, don't use structures offensively. So that means that if you are the Kings, do not shoot past no man's land. If you are the peasants, do not shoot past no man's land. This goes for EMPs, catalysts, as well as Junos. They're phenomenally good tools, but they are not for offense, they are for defense. And what a good tool they are for defense. They're sending T3 at you, drop an EMP missile on it. They're shelling you from a long distance, drop some catalysts on them. Good times to be had by all.
It's quite
Joining me in the casting booth, we do have Twig, who I'm finally going to let a word in edgewise.
The second I say my first word, you introduce me over the top of me.
And by the way, I am Pradith, for anyone wondering. You hear my voice a lot, but not my name.
It's quite a contentious issue, this defensive, offensive structures. We've talked back and forth about potentially disabling the Juno, the Catalyst, the EMP launcher. Let us know in the comments in both live Twitch and YouTube, and also if this one makes the replays on YouTube. Let us know in the comments what you think. Should we be disabling them? Should we be using them? We've seen them being used in such an OP way to actually defend against things that are going to almost certainly kill lanes. Something that gets shut down really well by a catalyst is the catapults. They can usually shoot, and particularly thrown, they can shoot up over these hills when aiming at the top of these cliffs. A catalyst takes them out really quickly. Of course, you do need to scout that area, and without air on, that scouting is going to have to be in the form of like ticks and spam, so it can be a bit tricky. But at the same time, probably equally as much as the OP players, we see people ignoring the rules and wrecking the game for one of the commanders by launching something over the hill and destroying eco, which you don't need to scout because you know exactly where it is. It's in the middle.
Yeah, and this is why we have that T2, the T2 rocket units turned off. It does not matter where you fire those rockets up here. You have a well and truly above 66% chance of hitting something that will chain react, whether it be wind or converters, build power, or something much, much bigger. So that's why we have those ones turned off, but the catalysts at least hopefully stay a little bit further back, and they are much more pricey to get out for those early moments. Also, they can't move, which helps a bit. But we are very, very close to removing them from the game. We had decided we were going to do it until the changes were made to prevent to change how reclaim worked. So buildings used to reclaim plus their 60% bonus. Now they reclaim just as how much metal you put into them. That's evened games up a fair bit. In fact, it's evened games up a lot because things are more consistent and we can get that balance a little bit better. And so that is the next thing on the chopping block to see whether or not it needs to go. Our main focus is to give everyone as many tools as possible, but not to so we don't want to take things away. Also, apologies if you can hear some bangs going off in the background. There is someone letting off fireworks near me.
I was wondering what that was. Luckily, it's not too loud. So let's just look around the map. There is T2 up in all the commie or all the geo positions. How's it looking for the kings? Pretty much the same. Everyone's going into their T2 mixes. There were more shared out this time. So what that means with Kakato sharing out of the middle, it means that he's not going to be getting up their fusions, or if it's the case of an APHIS, their advanced economies that aren't going to come up online as quick because they've been sharing out those T2 constructors, each taking, between 5 and 20 seconds, depending how much build power you got, to come out of those labs. Okay.
But we know from playing on Claymore, if you can get that fusion reactor by 7 minutes, you can get a second one up and an APHIS by 11 minutes. And if any of the other players send even just a little bit of metal, then it becomes a build power issue more than anything. Also, I just want to point out, Duffy with a fusion reactor already at 6 minutes 30. I think that one came up at closer to 5:45.
And going into an APHIS, that is mighty greedy, that close. I would love to see a catapult or a Vanguard pop that really quickly, but...
So, funny story, okay? So, if you position yourself some Shivas right here. Shivas are cheap. Shivas are really, really cheap, and they're really tanky, and they're quite fast. The missile can hit anything up to this ramp. And you can't stop missiles.
Hint, hint.
So bear that one in mind.
Hint, hint, hint. No, I do. I actually think Kings are going to have a good chance in this. We've bumped the bonus up to 62, I think it was.
It's set at 60 at the moment.
60? Okay, we've gone to 60, which is last week at 60. Very close games. But I think they hit the nail on the head last week with King of the Hill. I think all 4 games were close. There was 1 King win and I think 3 Peasant wins, but all of them so close. The Peasant wins, 2 of them. The Kings were far ahead, and then just something broke, some leak happened, and there was a quick comeback. We're hoping to see that again. So we will see what happens. There's only 1 King up here that I don't recognize the name of from previous weeks, but they do have that greed tag in front of their name, so must be somewhat experienced being part of that community. Great community. But everyone else, we're familiar with these names: Potato, Duffy, Rosie. I kill you for fun.
8
Scarve, Potato.
8 minute 15 APHIS.
Yeah, that is
That's not good for the peasants.
Do you know that just put the metal income per second is even right now? So at the 10-minute mark in previous weeks, I think we're seeing like the peasants about 50 to 70% ahead on income. That's not the case right now. That's kind of nasty.
However, we will see a nice jump for the peasant income very soon. We're going to be having all of the fusions coming online, as well as the energy converters, so I wouldn't count them out just yet. Also, those T2, the T2 advanced geos coming up very soon. But yes, this is a lot going down in the middle of the map, and this is one of the reasons why this can be a little hard to balance. We have not had someone in the ramp positions going for an APHIS before, so this one's a bit new to us.
I just hope to see some units come out of all players. It is 45 seconds until the lava recedes, and you want to be putting pressure on all directions. It's not just the peasants attacking the kings. If those kings push out and take control of that ramp, they're going to be able to really scale that economy, especially Kakato in the middle there. There'll be multiple APHISs down just a few minutes after the no rush expires, and once that happens, T3 is going to be coming out in a big way, and it's not going to necessarily be Marauders and Razorbacks. You're going to see the bigger stuff with these bonuses of 60%. You're going to see the Titans, you're going to see the Thors, and the Vanguards.
And that's one thing to bear in mind, though. Even though we're seeing some big units, there's also some very big opportunities. For example, defenses right now. In Rosie's bases, only just coming up now, and it's a handful of beamers. On Scav's side, it is 3 beamers and a couple of LLTs. Front lines is a few beamers, so hopefully we'll see some sieging and some area control. But it does look like a lot of Tier 1 units starting to make their way up, but they are missing. They have...
It's not like raptor craters where there's lots of different entrances, there's 3. So the T1 doesn't have quite the effect that you see in Raptor Crater, where you can win with a big rush, and you just see how quickly on the south here against Kill You for Fun Space, those pawns don't take out a single unit or a single structure.
What you need to do is you need to get the cheap T1 units so they can gain vision, and then sieging T2 units so you can really pop in. Have your comms up there so that if the enemy tries to so if the kings try to push out, you can snipe those expensive T2 units. But if you're just running up with the T1, it can certainly be quite difficult to get in there.
Yeah, something I haven't seen before, Rosie's base. I've never even tried this because on the original deformations of the map, you could not build towers up on these hills, but ever since the tweak, look at these beamers, they're on the crest. So they're going to give good vision to anything that's trying to come up over the hill. Yeah, nice. I'm going to copy that.
And the window for getting those spiders into the base is closing now with those beamers on the high grounds and the defensive Razorbacks.
Got a few balls pushing on the north out towards these sharpshooters, but they're going to strafe away, ignoring their fight commands coming backwards, so that these balls pop pretty quickly. I think 2 shots. Yeah, it takes about 55% off each shot, and these maces are going to keep them back a good number of snipers, and if they keep piling up, we're going to need T3 to push them back.
Exactly. With those maces in front, provided those snipers just keep going, the only real problem you're going to have is some spam, and that's a really good reaction out of Kokado, getting that spam down right away to help. Spam is one of the things that is going to slow this push down, so you need something that's going to deal with spam. Get yourself a few of the Centurions or something along those lines to try and deal with it, and then just keep pushing up. Manual target the snipers where
push,
you need to.
Bottom left, Scarves base, takes out a Geo. That is with the spiders. Usually we see the spiders go into the kings. These ones are coming out straight over the hills and straight for that advanced Geo. Now we've got a few more going up trying to take out the beamers, but nicely cleaned up by Zealot. Sure, Zealot.
And in the bottom side of the map, Rosie heading down with T3. We do have some comms nearly in position to take this one out, but not quite. They have managed to sneak past, and they're about to make their way down into one of the co-op corners. Though that co-op corner is running a little on the slower side with 3 fusions, and the T2 lab only coming up. One of the problems with Razorbacks for the peasants is once they're past, the peasants will not be able to catch up. Razorbacks do move faster than comms. So the snipers are really good move though. Those snipers are going to start popping. The units just make sure they are running away so they can get as many shots off before they're taken out. Unfortunately, low on energy. No, not low on energy. Just
a slow reload.
Fire.
Reclaim the Razorback with that build power. No more.
A little late. And that is one corner taken out, and it does look like the Kings are now pushing down on the right-hand side. The Pulsars, though, not quite as effective. Mammoths and T1 units are breaking out. But the top side has fallen during all of this. Those snipers have managed to get in, and T1 is in. The King in the middle of the map has been destroyed during all of that. And we do have a catapult as well, starting to siege up to Scarves base, which is this is going to be quite a problem. So while the Kings have done a great job on the offense, the defense has not held this time round, and we're going to start seeing a nice breach point. And without that middle king to support, the eco is sitting about 50% in favor of the peasant space, even with those big attacks out of the kings. So the kings are going to be stuck a little bit on the defensive now. But the question is all this unit production going to slow down the scaling of the top part of the map? And that's what we're going to have to be. Oh, catapult shots into the map. And taking out Scarves' economy. At least I think it was catapults. It might have been something from this bottom left-hand side.
Psycho Pew Pew's catapult has 8 kills there. And
there we go. So blind firing into the middle of the map, very, very effective. So that is yet another king taking damage. The kings have been set back, and despite the APHIS coming out of Duffy, they have a lot of ground to retake before they can get back into this. And this might be some of the ground being retaken now. Scav, even though they're set back, they are sending their spiders in. Catapult's getting great shots on, dealing a lot of damage. Lots of beamers up here to deal damage as they come in as well. And they're also surrounded by T1 units. So this is going to be a struggle to get in. Those catapults have done so much damage here. just defending this one. So nicely done. Good amount of metal reclaim, and hopefully the peasants will be able to capture that top side. Looks like that 60 bonus, well, it was enough to absolutely catapult the Kings forward. Because they are under pressure, they cannot continue to eco to a massive degree, with the exception of Duffy, who has expanded onto the mid-ground and is defending that like no one's business.
A poor lonely Vanguard down the bottom right there from Rosie being assaulted by these Centurions, slightly out of position.
I don't think I've ever seen Centurions kill a Vanguard before. I think that was a first for me after well and truly a year and a half in this game.
We've got more pushing happening out of that top corner as well. Vanguard's trying to defend against the likes of these snipers. They are on a direct attack command, popping off one just there. But there is just not quite enough. More spam coming in than going out. And that catapult, still that catapult. There's now 2. We've also got some termites coming over the hill.
Those termites could be invaluable, giving vision into this high ground. Even if they die, as long as it makes its way in and can see where those fusions are, can see where some of that build power is, it has done its work. Let's have a quick look at the player view there. And yes, the player view does show everything that those catapults need to know, so they're going to have open season on things like that pulsar, on things like, yep, and that's what they've targeted. And now onto the fusion reactor. So Scarv is in big trouble, and once Scarv is taken out, the players can really start putting pressure on I Kill You for fun as well, really open up this backside of the map and start pushing in. The Kings are doing a great job of holding this. Once a lane starts going down, it becomes incredibly, oh no! Razorbacks have caught out the catapults.
Just focusing fire on that one. If he goes down, that's actually definitely worth pushing out.
That's 100% worth it, because the peasants can only build one of those every long time, and because the snipers have stopped coming, there isn't that firepower to punch these back. So the Kings have done the peasants have done a great job of cracking this. They need to take a quick moment to re-establish their forces, make sure they can actually defend the units that are sieging, and then get back into the siege. One of the things to also bear in mind, you don't technically have to fight your own lane. So for example, right now we have a lot of units just fighting their way towards I Kill You for fun. They are not getting a lot done at the moment. We do have some Sheldons that are popping shots in, but there's plenty of repairs going down and so many pulsars and rattlesnakes that they just haven't been able to get their value in. You can pressure other lanes. You're not restricted to your own. And if that doesn't happen soon, then the volume of T3 is going to start building up. We're going to have plenty of Razorbacks, we're going to have plenty of Vanguards, and we're going to have plenty of spam coming back out. And so the Kings will be in a good position to hold this once more, though. Their eco has barely scaled in the last couple of minutes, which means that the peasants are doing a great job of holding this back. And speaking of holding things back, the peasants are doing their best to hold back Duffy's push. Those Vanguards have been firing on down. They managed to take out the Geo without line of sight, but you can do that easily because you always know where it's going to be. And it is these mammoths that are MVPs, as well as what looks to be a sneak attack by the Arbiters, but the spam has seen it, so they were taken out, unfortunately. But those could have been some great shots. And it does look like we're getting a stout push out of Cookie. We saw this last week on Raptor Crater. This is ludicrously hard to stop when you run it off of multiple APHIS. The sheer number of tanks you can get, the peasants are going to need to have a lot to hold this one off, and they're trying to get a lot. They're building up mammoths and whatnot, but with Vanguard support, that's going to be one of the biggest difference compared to what we saw last week.
Really well done by Kakado, getting their base back online. The only things I'd make a difference here on is put a gap in between the build power, and also just in case, put a couple beamers down. You just don't.
Also, something else to
that spam gets through.
Something else to consider. The peasants have done a really good job of breaking scav and of breaking the rear ramp. They have not yet tried to fire catapult shots into the next base up. Blind fire, everybody. You've got control of the low ground. Just move those catapults up a little bit and just blind fire into Potato's base. They will do a lot of damage because you have 4 of them now. Plenty of rockets will go over, and you know that by this stage in the game that the eco is going to be quite tightly knit. There will be energy converters, there'll be construction turrets. all of the above.
Stouts pushing all the way through, taking out almost none of those mammoths, but it doesn't matter. They've ignored them, going straight for that eco.
Yep, the
Chipping
mammoths
hole.
were there to hold it, but they did not. They just stood there and fired, but they didn't have the DPS. Stouts as a whole, each stout has let's find a full health stout. Stouts have around about 1600 HP, and when you have 100 of them, that's 160,000 HP. That's a lot of HP.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a wraparound here. If these units keep pushing, we've got Rosie coming online with the Razorbacks. However, we do have Vanguards coming over the hill. Are they going to be able to hit anything? I don't think they
Oh
can
god,
actually see
that's
anything.
not what you want to do with Vanguards.
No. If it was a catapult, I'd say OP.
All
Similarly,
you
a
need is
Kagi.
something else to get vision, and then just manual fire. If you see it bouncing off a shield, fire something somewhere else until you have plenty of space. Until you have plenty to punch through the shields.
These Stouts still pushing around. They've come across another Razorback. Assisted by a couple Razorbacks of Duffy's own. And then we got the spam in the background. The Fringe trying to get in there for some D guns, but there are just too many
again,
units.
a little bit. Oh, maybe. Gets the
the Razorback.
Razorback, that's great, but the Stouts are almost certainly going to take the comm. They'll just chip away at it. But the Stouts now no longer... Oh dear, this is going to be a problem for Mazza. Mazza, you've done so well scaling, but unfortunately, the sea is now on open ground.
Oh no, oh no.
Build those defenses.
He
Get
needs
those
to,
turrets
he
up.
needs to stop building the fusion. As much as he wants the fusion, he just
Zoom
needs the
out.
units.
Everybody zoom out when you play. You can prevent this from happening. You just need to see it happening beforehand.
This fusion needs to be stopped, Mazza. Those were critical seconds, and beamers need to come down straight away. I don't think you're actually going to get any units out in time. And unfortunately, oh, a ticket got out. A single tick.
Oh dear, desperately trying to reclaim, but Stouts just have too much HP. I am so sorry, Mazza. This is always heartbreaking playing in this position. You work so hard for the first 20 minutes just to get that eco rolling, and then you get taken out for it. That's one of the things you have to try and balance. How much eco do you get before you switch online? And just as an example, for Brian Olaf, plus 50 metal is not enough to be constructing a fusion and a experimental gantry and units at the same time. Reclaim that T2 lab, get the fusion up and running, reclaim the experimental gantry, stimulate that eco, and then get yourself into the fight. Though you might need to do it slightly earlier
Huggy's
than that.
in Potato's base, and we've
Oh no!
got
And
the
if only
fusion
the
in sight.
catapults were firing in as well. The question is, can the Kagis? They have popped the fusions, but the fusions are not actually a big deal. The question is, have we seen those APHIS? And the answer is no. No, we have not. We see the T2, we see the T3 lab, but those APHIS are still hidden from sight,
It is time
which
to put
means
the
that
pop-ups.
that is still quite safe up there.
Lots of pop-ups, lots of beamers. They'll do alright. Duffy really is wrapping
Potato's
around now to
comm,
the
though.
north.
Is in risk right here. Managed to get the first good D-gun on, but the Kagis are still running over the map. Thankfully, the pulsars in the base, plenty of power there. This is where we need those catapults to start firing up into the base. Just, you now know, you've seen what you can see. Fire where you couldn't see, and you'll do great with those catapults.
Just want to jump in here and say that we are seeing the Junos used correctly, rarely. They are being fired in the no man's land on the north here, stopping all this spam coming through. We do have catapults on the left. I don't want to miss this.
4 of the catapults taken down because of a bad move command. 5 of the catapults taken down because of a bad move command.
These catapults doing damage on the south though. I kill you for fun under pressure. We need a bit of spam coming this way. All the build power taken out, and now those catapults blind firing, hoping that there's eco in this position. There usually is. For once there isn't though, so they're not getting much value there. But there is a single unit that has got up, a single grunt being taken out by the pulsar. A little bit too much firepower being used.
And top
Yeah.
side getting wrapped around during all of that. With 9 Razorbacks on the front lines, this is going to be a big problem. If the Kings manage to take out this area, they are going to absolutely wrap around the rest of the game. This is one of the last bastions that the peasants have. About half the map now taken out by the Kings, and about half of the Kings getting taken out by the peasants. Economy is still in the peasants' favor, but the Razorbacks are now in, and look how densely packed some of these fields of conversion are of these. I think that if this goes off, if the wind set detonates this energy converter, it's going to run through the rest of the map. It's going to take out these.
Oh, that one
17%
converter.
left. But we do still have Razorbacks running in, and only Shiva's trying to stop them. And Razorback versus Shiva, we all know how that one goes. And that's going to be the chain reaction of the build power. That is this side essentially offline. I reckon Kings have got it because of that.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest, if not the biggest eco. That Geo about to go popping along with those 4 APHIS, maybe? No. I mean, yes.
There we go.
That is a big hit.
And this is what happens when you pump the brakes for too long. Unfortunately, there was plenty of opportunity to fire those catapults up into Protato's base, but it didn't happen. And if Protato's base went down, it was going to take Duffy's with it. Bottom side trying to do what it can, but now with Rosie no longer helping on Duffy's lane to push through, the Razorbacks here cleaning up. We do still have some catapults and we do still have some Karganeths doing work here, but the wraparound is real for this one.
There is still a possibility, but there's enough Karganeths and enough termites that build up. Where Scarv's base was, that's probably the only remaining weak point, but there's a very small window closing where the horde of these stouts from Duffy and Razorbacks pushing around will come up and over. If these Kargis do make it up over the hill, they're only against vanguards, so if they dodge, dive, duck and weave in the right way, they might be able to get to some of this build power. Having said that, the closest APHIS is Kukatos up in the hill, so... Oh, I forgot about the Pulsar. They're not getting in.
There's plenty of Pulsar up on that hill.
They're not getting in. And they are down. Z-Lot, again with the D-guns, but this time just not enough with a continuous line of stouts.
When the stouts don't stop, the comm can't do anything about it. And unfortunately, Geo exposed and backline taken out. It's just energy left. The King's economy has dropped by over 1,000 metal in the last 2 minutes.
King's peasants.
Oh, sorry, the peasants' economy has dropped by over 1,000 metal in the last 2 minutes.
And here we go, we're going to see those 4 APHIS replicate what happened in the Geo position north of here. It's a bit of deja vu. Another pop in a second. Now, 1 or 2 big ecos left, but the Kings are ahead in metal income without that reclaim for the first time since before the 10-minute no rush. They are between 10 and 70%. The reclaim on this map is insane right now. There is a lot of metal, so we do not know who's exactly ahead on eco, but it's looking good for the Kings. Potatoes all the way back online. Potato, Rosie, I kill you for fun, and Duffy absolutely killing it. Their economies are stable and they're putting all their resources into the units at this stage, going for the cleanup crew, trying to break these last few ramps. There is a lot here to defend on the south though. We do have some pulsars of the peasants' own, including some surrounded by their T2 walls, the fortifications. They actually really do a lot more than you'd think, these walls. They stop
also
a lot.
Plenty of snipers and vanguards to assist.
I do like the snipers, but we're going to need a few more of them to take on these stouts. Just on my screen right now, we do have 111 stouts. That's just on my screen. Zoomed in.
So what is it that effectively stops stouts?
Equivalent? Enough units? A lot does stop stouts, but just the amount of economy that Duffy has right now. He's bringing in 450-ish metal per second. You're putting out a lot of stouts with this. So what stops this amount of stouts? Probably nothing. Probably nothing.
I actually think the answer's pounders, to be honest.
Ooh. The big brother of the stout. Slightly more metal, I think. But The
Yeah, but they have
Big
the
Brother.
knockback and the AoE,
Yeah, the Cortex Big Brother.
and they're kind of tanky too.
I
do
do love
like
the
the
knockback.
counter stouting by B2D, but I don't think it's going to be enough to push in. The top half of the map is still holding out best it can, but it is just slowly being whittled down by a couple of T3 units. We do have I think
Some
this
units
is a
are almost
resurrected
killing
Aphis.
that's just a little bit too close to my liking there. Those all those pawns coming out of K-Paulos. Right on the tip of I wouldn't mind seeing these units bunched up, pulled into a group, and then rush all in at once.
I mean, look, it is T1 right here could very easily break in. We've seen something like this before. Enough mass T1 absolutely destroys T2 defenses. Pulsars do nothing.
They're getting so
Pitbulls
close.
do nothing. Rattlesnakes do a fair bit, but when there's only a couple of them, it's just not going to be enough. But when they're coming in like this, it's just not. They're not able to effectively do anything other than provide vision.
Yeah, we do have the Stouts finally breaking into this big base around the corner here. We got the Titan. Decat's commander going for the Titan, gets the D gun off, but the Razorback's going to quickly clean them up, along with those Vanguards being well microed out of Rosie, keeping them away. Now targeting onto the bigger economy. Stouts though, best unit in the game right now. Getting a lot of kills. Just these ones on the screen have over 200 kills between them.
And that's the thing, we've seen the Stout tech now 2 weeks in a row, and it's going to be up to the peasants to work out what the counter to this is, because it seems to be becoming a popular strategy. It seems to be that price to effectiveness ratio that something like a tick or a pawn just doesn't meet. It's tanky enough to hold multiple shots, it's fast enough to get in range of groups of snipers, and it deals damage quickly enough that if anything gets into the base, that is good enough.
The last remaining peasants doing well.
They are doing a
Everything
good
up.
job to hold this one off, but when the army value is 50% in favor of the Kings, it's going to take quite a lot for them to break out. And also one thing the Kings are not doing too much of is scaling. The Kings could very easily scale in this
You know what
position
you
right
said
now if they
at
took...
the start of the game? Sorry to cut you off. You mentioned the Shivas. Pretty cheap T3. If we got them where these pawns are getting up to,
Oh yeah,
they would be able to get in. That's probably the last... Well, both lanes, pawns are getting in around these cliffs.
it'll be a bit harder now with 24 Vanguards defending.
It would. We need to just get those Aphises to go pop though.
Oh no, we've got the demons coming now.
Oh,
They're
they'll go down
just
quick.
that little bit too late, I reckon. If the Vanguards hadn't come over here, so if the demons had gone when there were 3 of them, I reckon that could have popped the middle eco. But with 24 Vanguards, those demons are not getting in.
They're not even going to get up the ramp. What they will do though is be resurrected and sent in the other direction probably.
Too mean, too mean. Does look like the peasants have managed to hold here.
Yeah, nicely done out of Decat. Alright, who else? We got Kato. No. Kato's in the middle.
We have
Huge medal.
but
Alright.
what this means is and smartly and rightly so, the Kings have determined that there is enough firepower here that the Stouts aren't going to break through. So they're going somewhere else, which is another reason the Stout is quite good. It's fast enough to do that, and maybe why the Pounder won't counter it, but we will see.
Potato just taking out the second dirt sea on the top right, so now we have half of the map around the outside evacuated by the peasants. The left isn't looking too bad. There is one individual player that's just been pinged over on the right. Kato seeing that. I mean, what is over there? There is a player that has completely come back. They have an Aphis.
What they have is
defenses.
3 pulsars and a lot of pop-ups, which means that I think that they'll be mostly immune to those to the Stouts.
Yeah, pop-ups are good. I don't know if they chain react. Well, everything does chain react to a degree when it explodes, but there's not going to be a straight chain reaction.
Big push in the top left-hand side. The 22 Vanguards, which were 24 before, have now decided they're going to clean up what is left of this top left-hand side. They've got plenty of T1 defenses. They have plenty of Razorback defenses. And it does look like this is going to be a march of death in this corner. Something
Razorbacks gotta push.
something to quickly mention. The peasants are climbing back up in the eco, and the kings have stayed exactly the same since the last time we checked in. So all of those units are doing a very... Oh my god. Just look in front of Cookie's base. 235 stouts because of a ping.
Okay, let's just... I've selected 220 of them. Let's see how many are left at the end of this.
I did think that
240.
those pop-ups would be enough to stop it with the pulsars, but it doesn't look like it. One of those pulsars is... Oh wow, that pulsar just killed, I think, 6 tanks in a single shot. But it does look like even with all of them here, it wasn't enough to stop the rolling of the tanks. Out of all of the ones I had selected, over half of them are dead. I've got 77 left from, I believe it was the 235 I had selected.
Yeah, over 100 dying easily. That AFS now is going to eventually go pop. Few units there.
46 left from 235.
And
Not the
100
best
from
attrition
240.
rate, but I mean, if it works, it works.
Oh, that is
And
chain reaction to the max on the left. Massive wind farms just going down.
And at top left-hand side, we're having these players cleaned up as well. So it is going to be the kings bearing their full weight down onto the bottom bottom left-hand side of the map, which is going to be quite a rough one for the bottom left because army values actually equaled out a fair bit. It does look like the peasants.
You see how many snipers are down here? There's 60 snipers down for Homer.
Problem is getting them on the offense is what needs to happen right now. They basically need to do an all or nothing play right now because we know that the kings will win this if nothing happens. So an attack needs to happen right here and right now. Push that ramp with the snipers, push that ramp with the spam, put everything you can into that ramp and try to break on up it. If you can make some chain reactions happen with the Titans, some chain reactions happen with the snipers, anything along those lines, with the Kargis, this is your opportunity.
Good amount of Kargis. Good amount of Kargis. Unfortunately, I don't see the avenue to get in on this side. Potentially Rosie's base.
Just push as hard as you can, essentially, because you're not going to have the perfect opportunity. You need to overwhelm in this moment where the king's army value is not here. Because right now the king's army value here is some stouts and some titans. That's not enough to stop this.
Oh, I do like that. The Thor's laying down.
EMPing.
EMP.
And just remember, Thor EMP is totally fine. So this is going to be the make or break right now for the peasants. They have to push in and they have to win here, or it's going to be a game over. And it does look like they might just have what they need to do it. That is so much power with those Thors, with the Kargis, with the Titans. Just go and don't stop. The Vanguards are firing in. They're nearly back. You cannot stop right now, not even for a second. Push in and try and claim the APHIS as you can. A couple in the middle, a couple on the right-hand side, and this may actually end up being over for the Kings. And because of the panic reaction out of those Vanguards, they're taking so much damage from the catapults firing into the bunch of them. Titans, go. Push up.
Oh my god, they see it.
Eco in the middle.
Holy.
Don't go left, you know you've already cleared it. Go right, you know there's going to be stuff on the right, but they're walking into Duffy's comm with 1% HP. 2 of them taken down. Oh no, some bad decision making here. The Thor's not heading up either, but the Kargi's looking to head over the cliff as well. The catapult's getting into position to fire over. Did I call this too soon when I said that the Kings had this one?
Oh wow, I like what Duffy's doing on the south. He's going to send his units around the back and ignore that big base. That might be enough to get through. That is the right decision. If they can kill that bottom left corner where a lot of the peasants' eco is coming from, a lot of this spam's coming from, they might have quite the chance. Wow, Kargi's now pushing over on the right.
Kargi's have found Rosie's APHIS, but it's been taken down.
9%
with only
left.
A few % left.
9%
Get over the
left.
hill. Just get over the hill and fire. Oh my god, it's so close. Just turn around and fire.
Holy! I
it got
reclaimed. That was
It
brilliant.
got reclaimed.
That was brilliant.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Rosie, what a play right there.
That was a probably game-defining play. If Rosie went down, there was a big path, a big chunk taken out there. Wow, yeah, army value still in favour of the Kings after all that. That is because so much T3 just went down. Thank God for these 43 Vanguards.
The crazy thing is, if the Thors had gone in at the same time as the Titans, and if the Titans, after destroying the middle, had gone right instead of trying to keep pushing into the area that was destroyed, I actually reckon the peasants would have got this.
I do too. Even if the Titans were split up more.
Yep, yeah, if the Titans had been split up more and the comm only managed to take one of them out, if the snipers had gone with...
Oh, wow. Coordination. That was epic. That was
a close little end bit right there.
This is up there with the best throne game I reckon I've seen in a long time. Look at this wreckage field on the bottom of the map. Just all the stouts that were running into the pawns, and they've come to a dead heat just behind the base of the cat. Just a single Kagi over here now. Oh boy.
Single Kagi. It is going to take a long time for that Kagi to die to those pawns if they're not microed. Could walk over the hill and find something right here, but the pawns have found it, so it isn't going to. Oh god, is it going to get across? If it had been, it's got across with 0% health. If it had gone a couple of seconds earlier and gotten those shots onto some of the conversion, oh
that'd
man.
be great. I like what Kato has done. Gone and built the AFS in probably the most safe position, which is not the middle of the map. It's next to Duffy's production, meaning that units are continuously coming out of this area. Also building back up again, a second backup base over on that right wing with the T3 production out there as well. Loving that.
So just want to while we're watching this epic push of stouts towards everything that's over here with the Vanguards backing them up. Well, the Vanguards are doing a lot of damage to their own units. Anyway, let's talk about strategies that could have been used to take out Rosie's eco once the Kagis spotted it. So chucking a Juggernaut in that corner there and detonating it, I reckon would have been a big enough explosion radius to take out the APHIS. Shivas in that same spot, manual firing missiles, very safe thing to do.
1 or 2 catapults following all those Kagis in.
Yep. Use the catapults and manual fire them. Just turn off their ability to auto fire in any way, shape, or form. Just manual fire everything. It does take a little bit of micro, but you can give it to plenty of players. There are plenty of leftover players here with nothing to do. If you need to do that, give it to them, tell them what you want, and utilize the tools you have available to you, which are extra players, extra micro. Also, these Titans and Thors and Snipers have just created a complete stop for these.
You've seen all of these little Christmas orbs on the ground? That's what these are, ornaments. That is all of the stouts. They're all dead. Just continuously being cleaned up.
The Snipers currently between them have 400 kills. The Titans have... Oh, they only have 14. The Thors have 58. Just absolutely pushing in. But once the eco starts coming... Once Kokado stops ecoing and everyone else just switches over to build power, the Kings are going to have plenty to overwhelm. I do like what's happening on the top left-hand side. The players, even though they don't have too much going on because most of their bases were destroyed, they are trying their best to find a way in. And that's the thing. Never give up and never surrender. Look at how many players have left the peasants team. Imagine if all of them had just asked for anything, like a couple of wind and a solar.
Yeah, because what you're doing, you're drawing up that APM of the Kings. There's only 7 of them.
Yep.
So
and just spam in every direction that the Kings have to deal with. I know from games like this, I've been eliminated at 20 minutes, and then I've won the game for my team at 40 minutes because I started up with some spam and then just ecoed behind that, got myself up to about 10 APHIS, and then pushed in with a massive Thor push.
And if in doubt at the stage of this game, just to build a T1 lab and just repeat on the res bots. And the res
Yep.
bots can just build you an army. I've lost games before, like personally, like I've died and then just got res bots up and just ended up playing the rest of the game just trying to find my own army in wreckages on the map. You become
And whether
quite
or not
powerful.
you're resurrecting an army or just reclaiming it for your team, if you look through all the players left on the peasants team, you only have about 50% of them
Hey.
that are showing more than a single dot of metal. That means that they can spend more than they currently have.
There is
so if
a-
you're just reclaiming.
Sorry, there is a Juggernaut walking in, and there's only one commander left alive for the peasants. Sorry, for the kings. Unfortunately, they ate Duffy's just probably on a default reclaim. They've eaten it. These
I don't
stouts
think the
having-
jug's getting in though.
Wow, yes, they've all pulled. These vanguards are going to clean it up. These stouts.
And the
are
stouts running away, mostly just in time. I've still got a lot of them. Juggernaut explosions are no joke.
That was nice. Oh wow, look how many catapults are over here as well.
I know. The peasants are just there's opportunity here. If that jug hadn't been sent in on its own and used as a like ward for these catapults, there could have been quite the turnaround, because you could have, if you positioned it right, you could have gotten some mass shots onto this vanguard army. 49 vanguards is very strong, but when they get hit by the AoE of catapults, they go down super
I've
quickly.
only just realised that the kings all played Armada.
Did they? They did too. Get out there with a resbot and get yourself some Cortex builders. Get yourself those beehies.
That's what they need right now.
Break the siege.
And that's just simply not happening at the moment. I do like these Titans, but unfortunately Kakato's got them built right up, and unlike we do have only 5 commanders left.
9 Titan kills out of a single com.
Oh gosh, that is delicious.
That was amazing. And now we've got the catapults mass firing in on them as well, and 2 juggernauts sitting here just building up. The peasants are really not letting this one turn this into a wash. Also, 5 demons on the top side getting ready to push in. It does look like the stouts are coming to clean this up, but stouts are not the unit to clean up demons. We'll keep an eye on that one. Vanguard's trying to move their way towards it, but they are having to deal with those juggernauts in between. Unfortunately, though, it does look like the manual fire just is not quite on point for Charles. Need to really try and push in a little deep and get as much as you possibly can. Oh no, the demons have stopped. They're not pushing in. They're giving time for the look at the top left. The demons could just walk in and win.
Oh wow, they could too.
I mean, like, the stouts there, but just micro against the stouts for a moment.
These catapults are getting quite a bit of damage. They just took out a number of vanguards. They just need to get quite close enough and just shoot on the very arc of their range. Don't wait to see something to shoot. Just launch up.
Just blind fire. You can 100% see where all of this has got. Oh, that's going to be a juicy set of shots.
That's going to take out a good handful again. Yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3.
Oh no,
Yeah.
the juggernaut. The juggernaut.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And now, yeah, a lot of the spam might get through here. Do we have a reaction out of the bottom of the map? Not quite. Well, we are seeing a bit
Also,
of pushing
all
though.
of these demons have
to the
been
right.
taken out by 11 snipers just standing there out of range. You can't use demons defensively like that.
And
Ooh,
I've
Titans
just noticed
on the high ground.
the Tom up north just went down, as yours is a little bit of a lava puddle at the moment. Their commander finally getting seen and taken out by probably stouts. That means there's 3 versus 2 now. Another com has been resurrected. There's a backup
But
com.
the Titans have found a pathway up, and it's very close to Orotab's eco.
Once again,
They're
built up.
struggling to walk up that cliff, but they are getting some shots off. It looks like trying to manual fire those rockets into the economy there. That's a chain reaction out of those
The
construction.
vanguards.
Oh no!
Own fire.
Oh
did that
no!
happen?
The rovers.
Ah.
The rovers got in, and that's a huge chunk of the eco down, and the Titans are now up,
They target
and
firing
they're
on the
firing
weakest
onto the
APHIS.
APHIS.
Yep, here we go.
That's going to be enough. The APHIS is going to go down, all of it at once, and that's just chunked the Peasants' economy down by 400 metal per second, and also one of the strongest bastions taken out by a really good flank of T1 units, of T1 fast movers, and a couple of Titans. Do bear in mind we didn't mention it this game, but it has been a very well-known fact that walking up these cliffs is very possible, and attack avenues.
This has been a phenomenal slug out of both teams here. Well done to all the Peasants that haven't given up. There are 14 of them left, and still not dead, but it is going to be a real struggle at this stage here. We just saw potentially 2 avenues of them getting through. I don't see one now. I really don't.
I was really worried about the balance at the beginning of this game.
I know the pressure is on us every game. Why don't we do this to ourselves every Sunday? Find us here, Australian evening times, European around the middle of your day, and then USA. You'll have to wake up a little bit early over in the Americas. But yeah, anyway, we have a lot of pressure getting these right because we pick them wrong. Depending on the players in the middle, of course, that does make a massive difference. But yeah, these can go very quickly.
This one, the players in the middle, that phenomenal start to the eco has served them very, very well. But the Peasants nearly took this one at the top. They nearly took this one at the front. Like, oh my god. If I was the Kings, Rosie's reclaim of that APHIS. Oh my god.
Even we were focused at the start on the bottom right, what was happening down there, and we looked back up and Kakato's base was gone. Samosa's Stan's base was gone. I like that they're still in this. Even if they're just building spam at the moment, they're sending it in the right directions. They're rezzing and reclaiming for the rest of the team. Army of resbots just trying to pull everything either back up onto its feet or sending the metal to the team to make sure that everyone's bars are full.
But it doesn't look like the overwhelming force has started to accumulate in the correct spots. The big defensive bastion has fallen, and the army value is now 250% in favor of the Kings, which means that it is just going to be a march down to get there. Attacking defended positions is hard, but they've gone from attacking up from the low ground to the high ground they'll soon be on that high ground to then assault the dry sea.
Yeah, how do you beat this? Nice view there from my screen, just all these Titans and the Vanguards right behind them. Even with the Behemoth coming out, that's getting taken out quite quickly.
Also, while we've got this moment here where everything is just turning into a rolling wave of death from the King side of things, big thanks to everyone playing tonight. No rule breaks as far as we saw, which is phenomenal for a match like this one that was so close. Anything like that could have tipped the scales, but it didn't happen, which means mad respect to everyone for listening and watching the chat, reading the rules, and doing a damn good job of making this a good experience for everyone involved.
Few of the scouts now getting down on the back left. We're going to see some chain reactions out of the wind. We've even got the little webbers slowly slowing down the production by freezing the economy, but that is a big mass now rolling down. I don't think we're going to see the biggest economy remaining on the map, Charles's, lasting too much longer.
Well, it's been spotted, and there's plenty of hardened energy storages to hold this off for quite a while.
Not a bad defense. I don't know if they've been purposely being built as defenses on the back of the APHIS, but hey.
I mean, with how much they're being repaired, they're taking a very long time to go down. But the Stouts have gone around the other side. They've taken out the build power, and that's another big chunk of economy going down. And the APHIS crippled. That is going to be one com hiding in the backside. And look, a player who understands the glory of a glorious death, trying to meet the army head on. We do seriously appreciate that. Once the game is, we don't have a problem with players doing their best to hold on, but once the game is over, we do appreciate trying to get that comm into the force, turn yourself invisible, do the D-gun damage as you can, and then we can start the next one. Nice and quick. It has been spotted. The group command is on. The APHIS goes down. The comm goes down. And that is GG. Congratulations to the Kings. Well fought on this one. Very well fought. And to the peasants, you nearly clutched this so many times. Hopefully we'll see more of that in the next one.
Really nicely done. The streak is over. The losing streak for the Kings. Taking it out. Very close. Quick look at the grass.
Look at that damage dealt out of Duffy's Stouts. And then Cookado following up nicely with those Vanguards. But then we have a whole lot of peasants doing a very good job. I believe one of those is Oratab. I believe one of those was... I believe a few of those were from that group, as well as that top left-hand side. Metal produced graph. You can see just how much the Kings scaled nicely. You can see the lines being quite straight up until around about that 35-minute mark, and then Cookado just exploding there. So very nicely done. If you do enjoy these ones, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Join us on our Discord. Join us for Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Australian Central Time, in order to play these ones with us. And with that, we will catch you in the next one. For the stream, we will keep on going.
Wow, well done. Well done to the Kings. That is probably one of the better King of the Hill games I've ever seen. And I think my game is about to crash. Nope, we're still alive. Okay, I'm going to take this over to Raptor Creator now.
One of my all-time favorite things, the start of that match. Bub Bassage, I do appreciate the comments, but we've just proved that the Kings can win. The format supposedly not suitable for this game mode anymore, but the fact is that the Kings can indeed win. It just takes the right level of balance and the right decision making. The Kings have a lot of work to push out, but they do have the resources available to do it. With 43 players on the map, Twig, do we do another? Nope, we're doing a Raptor Creator.
Already posted it.
Just going to be a quick moment for me, lads. I'm just going to be jumping out for a quick second to grab myself a drink and to rest my voice after that 54-minute game. Twig will take care of the rest until the game starts. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha.
Awesome. Having to set this up and also talk, which I'm probably going to eliminate one of those actions, and that'll be the talking, so just bear with me while I throw these commands in, wanting to set this up. I'm thinking of putting the T2 construction turrets on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that the correct way. Don't know if Nightmare's listening, if I need to tweak anything. I do have a tweak though to make them chain react. Do people want Legion on? Yes, no, in the game chat. There we go, Legion is on. And then I just hope that I'm going to get the T2 construction turrets by applying a code without crashing anything. Fingers crossed. All right, that should have applied everything. Now we're going to pick 9 kings in the middle. We will pick whoever has not been down there yet today. And the bonus that we apply It was very close last week. It was all the way up to 75. How many peasants have we got? 44. I think we can do that. Sorry about the silence there. Family just came into the room. All right, playing the last few of these bonuses. Bear with me. Okay, we've got Rosie and Kakado. One of you need to step out, sorry. I know you guys like to play together, so maybe one other player wants to jump down just so we can share this between everyone. There we go, we got the 9. Kakado with the bonus then. And then we'll clear the bonuses off of everyone else. Taking all my brain power to not accidentally spec someone. The button right's next to it. Okay, 9 kings. Rosie, what you doing? Jumping off my thing so I can unassign your bonus.
Alrighty. Looks like things have gone quite well. 52 versus 9, can't complain. 75 is a very high bonus.
It's exactly what we did last week when they lost once, won once.
Fair enough. So now, for those of you that are watching and or listening, this is something that is ludicrously important. With a 75 bonus, the kings can scale to a crazy degree. Every aphis is worth something like 150 metal a second, which means once you get one aphis, that means that you can get a second one in 50 seconds. So that means you can't let them, that means you cannot let them be, you cannot be passive. You absolutely cannot be passive.
Okay, I'm going to do the 4-star if no one else can, and I really hope... Oh, we got an extra king.
Hold
Thank
on.
you for calling it.
Yep.
Spec, too late to jump down there. Oh, that was the wrong button. I meant to say team 1. Jump back up quickly. I'll give you 10 seconds. Whoops.
Twig and his commands. Oh dear.
I was talking. I cannot talk and do things at the same time. It is a proven
Twig,
fact. There is
are you
streamed
saying
evidence.
that you're a man? Are you saying you're a man and you can't multitask? Is that what you're saying?
This is the thing. All right.
I know this to be true. I cannot either.
I hope that player rejoined. Do apologize. But yeah, do not jump in team 2 if we're ready to kick things off, which I'm going to force start right now, and hopefully everything is okay.
Looks like it has kicked off and we are ready to go. Just bearing in mind, Twig, I'm fairly sure this will be the last game of the night, yes?
This will be the last one for me.
Yes, it will. So, just letting you all know, we do sometimes continue the stream on afterwards, but not tonight. This has been too much of a weekend for us. I don't know about you guys, but holidays means Christmas and awesomeness. It does not mean more free time, it means less.
Pradith, I'm going to need you to record this one because my disk drive just filled up again. For some reason, mine's recording straight to the C drive, which it shouldn't be.
It should not be. You do have time to change its recording location if need be.
This is true. Maybe I just try and do that.
But I did also record the last one. I missed the intro, but I can use editing magic to get it.
I actually recorded it as well, except your computer probably ran the game better than mine. It was such a good game.
That one was so close. It did like whether or not it'll be ideal for watching afterwards. We'll see. 54 minutes is a long game, but man, that was I thought it was all over, and then the peasants just were like, you know what? Nah. Quick note for everyone playing. Even though there's only 52 people, which that is actually still quite a lot, the co-op corners are still ludicrously important. You are significantly better off having players co-oping instead of starting on their own or splitting mexes somewhere on the map. If you don't have all 4 corners co-op ecoing, then the kings gain a huge advantage. So do bear that one in mind. Also, if this one does finish at 10 minutes, we probably will do a second one. Just a heads up.
There is a very
aggression. If you want another one, aggression.
We have seen in the previous few weeks the likes of Grumpiness Duffy going into the Centurion push. That's been like kind of the meta. Ijal Bar, jump out of the middle, mate. Jump on out. I will quickly post the rolls.
One of my favorite things. So when you look at the flags running down the side, which you may or may not be able to see because I'm on a 4K 48-inch, probably not the standard viewing experience for everybody else. There is so many flags. There are so many flags. I suspect there are plenty of people in here that do not speak English, but it doesn't. But one thing which I always do find amusing is context clues. When you jump into a game like this one and you see everyone else around the outside and you jump in the middle, I do question your context clues. Just speaking of, Twig, do you mind just posting those rules again?
Oh, I've done it a couple of times. I'll do it again and again.
Always a good idea at the start of the game. There we go. So, for everyone that is watching, we will go over the rules in just a moment when the game starts, just for everybody's convenience. And I think we're getting pretty close to a 4-star right here. And a big Newt. Thank you. Where are you? Where is Team Newt? Where is Team Newt? There we go. Top right hand side. Newt booster pack. I appreciate you guys. It is one of my favorite things, and it's so damn Australian.
If you like to use the Newt emojis, jump over on our Discord. I've just spammed the lobby with them thanks to all the boosters of the Discord. You're wondering what it is? It's an Australian cartoon that we grew up with in the 90s. Oh my god, I'm getting old.
I'm just going to quickly plug our stream. If you jump over to the AllReasonNoLogic stream, you get Twig's point of view, and there you will have, if you're a subscriber, you will have access to the Newt emojis that Twig has put together. And any sort of any prime subs or anything like that you can throw towards us on the AllReasonNoLogic channel are hugely appreciated, especially around Christmas. We're hoping to get ourselves up to the point where we are where we're partnered sooner or later. But with most of the viewership happening on the Beyond All Reason official, that is a very long way off goal. So if you enjoy our videos too, jump onto the YouTube channel where we post the best one from the week, as well as our Road to 30. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to King of the Hill on Raptor Crater, and we have a lovely 9 versus 54 for you today. Jumping into the middle, we do have some regulars as well as a few new players that we haven't seen their names in the middle before. We'll see exactly how they run. New strategies are inbound because of those changes to reclaim. Before, you used to get that bonus to reclaim, in this case it is a 75% bonus. So if you put yourself down a T3 lab, instead of the 3,000 metal you spent on it, you would get yourself 4,000, almost 5,000 metal. Now it's just the 3,000, so that does adjust those. That does account for the adjustment. What that also means is that the Kings are going to scale much harder in the late game, so make sure to get that aggression running nice and early. And speaking of aggression, there is a 10-minute no-rush timer, which is denoted by this lava around the map. It will drop at 10 minutes, so don't try attacking before then. A couple of other very critical rules. Make sure you do not use structures offensively, and what that means, if you are Kings, make sure that you are only firing into the ramps and the essentially no man's land. If you are the peasants, make sure that you are only firing outside of the ramps. This includes things like your EMPs, it includes things like your Junos and your catalysts. They are fantastic defensive tools. Drop one of those onto an early T2 push and you can clean it up with ticks. But if you drop it onto the enemy, you will be kicked from the game. A couple of other small tweaks. We do have T2 build turrets on, which means that you will have access to more build power in a larger space, but they do chain react, which is a lovely little tweak that we have running for this one.
We hope.
No air, no LRPCs, and we do have a twig. Twig, have I forgotten anything?
We just hope that those T2s are on. It is me that's applied the rules that I've copied and pasted out of something that Tank Tom's left behind. He is not with us this week. He is over exploring Australia on his motorbike. So we do miss him, and it means that these lobbies don't run quite as smoothly. Like, it really is outstanding how much he does. We talk, we look pretty. He does the hard work in the background.
Seriously, it's the difference between 3 and 4 games in a night, which is just crazy.
Yeah, the lobby sim is real.
Let's talk about what is happening right here. So we'll start with what I would call the most important positions of the map, which is the bottom right hand side. These are the co-op positions for the peasants. If you work together, it's much better, and you can get T2 out and across the board for everyone, then scale like crazy. If you fail to do this, the Kings are going to have a pretty easy time, and that is true for all 4 corners. We've seen things like a corner that was very slow to eco be the last remaining corner, and it's not because they held the best. It's just because of where the Kings chose to attack. If they had co-opt eco, they could have been in 3 or 4 times of a better position. They might have even been able to put on enough pressure to save the rest of the team. Co-op eco means putting all of the eco you possibly can together in order to pump out a T2 lab and get that T2 running as quickly as possible. Sacrifice your own individuality for group cohesion. If you're in front of the ramps, make sure that you either defend with buildings or defend with units. Coordinate with the people around you. If you can get them to build units too, then maybe you can push an entire lane by yourself at 10 minutes. We know for a fact off of 3 mexes you can easily push with 50 incisors. 50 incisors is crazy. 50 if you have 50 incisors as a front line and then 50 blitzers behind it, so they can take advantage of any of the gaps, that's even better, because bear in mind, defense is going to be in this sort of area. As soon as you're through, divert out and you're going to dodge everything. So we see that quite a lot, and it is needed with that plus 75 bonus. The Kings are going to scale like no one's business if you let them. Now, onto the King's position, we do have one Eco King in the middle. Their job is just to eco and patch holes. Then we have the positions around the outside. Their job is to get up at least 1 fusion, but we have seen multiple fusions and we have seen an APHIS before. And then defend those lanes, and as we said before, make sure that your defenses are not being used offensively. Twig, I reckon that covers most of the positions and most of the strategies. So, what do you reckon is the go for this map?
Let's touch base on a few things. So firstly, just keep an eye on Paul Munt's base there. He goes into an A for the start, so I want to see how consistent he is. See if that comes up at the prior to the 10-minute mark with plenty of units. We talked about comedy ecoing. Bottom right again. This is what not to do. 2 T2 labs, incredibly inefficient. You can find right. Just give 450 metal to a player if you want a T2. Instead, second one coming up, and yeah, that could be a fusion up. Those 2 labs reclaimed, fusion. Share the eco, share the units. What we like to do in these corners is all of these 6 mexes go into 1 eco, and that one player that's doing the mass eco, just transfer the units out to the other players. Just send them over.
Compare that to the top left-hand side, and we already have a fusion 50% complete.
Yeah, Prototo is leading this charge, knowing exactly what they are doing, along with the gamer there, helping out, getting the eco booming. Right.
And there we go.
Not too bad.
Paulmont does have his build down that's going into that APHIS. Looks like we're going to be seeing ourselves 17 build turrets. There's 1 console and 3 T2 constructors. The T2 constructors working their way down. Metal quite tight at the moment, but the comm is reclaiming that advanced vehicle lab. This looks to be quite a well-optimized build, and we'll see exactly when that APHIS pops up, and we'll see if anyone else can get one faster, including the peasants. The peasants really do need to eat that T2 lab in order to get the fusion reactor down. They actually probably would have gotten the fusion reactor down and rebuilt that T2 lab faster if they'd done that.
That's on the top left you're talking, yeah, for sure. But doing the thing of sending units out, you can see there a few metal donations over to Rotato.
Zarbox, just a heads up, do not build that.
Oh, where are we? We can get a quick pause from someone in the game, and that will be removed as quick as possible.
Battle paused.
Thank you for the pause. Alright, just leave the chat free so that I can post the rules again. Okay, I think they've got the message. Turn it off, reclaim, and nobody
Good
else
to
do
go.
that, please. Let's hit a pause.
Battle resumed.
Why? You'll be kicked. Do it. Read the rules. I'll post them again.
And if he does not comply, it will be a kick, and it does not look like he is complying. Yeah, he's building a second one.
Alright, okay, that player's getting kicked. Just if we could get a pause again. Sorry, everyone, for that. That is clear rules.
Battle paused.
I'll just find their name. Where
I
are
had
they?
it just there.
Yeah, I've got it. It's alright, I've got it. Kick burn. Done. If somebody else could please take and just put those straight onto hold fire, one of the regulars, that would be fantastic. Okay, resume when you're ready. They have been removed.
Thank you very much, Flo. And we're back
yeah.
at it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just give that one an unpause and get back to it. Problem solved right there. So just bear in mind, the reason we have those rules set up is specifically to prevent things like that. Losing your eco early on or losing a builder before that 10-minute mark does make things incredibly hard. Just the walking time in these builds can be quite difficult. So we just ask that those rules are respected. Now, one of the things to bear in mind, if those gauntlets had been built here, no worries, because the range is basically this. And they're fantastic for defense. They're absolutely fantastic for defense. In fact, they're basically required for defense. We have attempted to do this with things like that, with like the rattlesnake and the pulsar turned off, and it was a complete wash anywhere that attacked one, basically. The reason defenses are so important in this game is because for the money, you are not spending you're not spending metal on movement. You're spending metal on damage and survivability. That is why defenses are so strong. They trade better than units, and so they are incredibly required. So turning them off just is not an option. We also like to give players a bit of agency so they can, if they want to pork up, they can pork up, and if they want to build units, they can. But it does mean we end up in situations like that every now and then. But most people are very, very fine with it. If they get it's very rare that we do have to ban someone like that.
Yeah. Fortunate. Back to the game though. There are 40 seconds remaining. Bandboxing the map. We can see 440 units climbing.
That's
Bandboxing it again. 480. They are coming out quickly.
Also,
one more
look at the
time, we're at 500.
concentrations.
Yeah, we've got a few ramps. There are a couple ramps that are going to be quite undefended.
And one of my favorite ones, if only they were going down the ramp next to it, because the comm is there. But Cookie's Mazza is going to have a shield. He's going to have some scorpions, but they are not the units to deal with spam. Spam is 100% a T1 defenses thing, so hopefully we'll see a really big push in here. And this is critical right now. What is going on right now will make or break the game for the peasants and the kings.
Here we go.
If there is no damage done at this stage, then the kings will be able to roll their eco.
Top left is going to be pushed hard as well, but we will keep our eyes on both of them at the moment. Which one's going to get cleaned up better? We do have the Inferno shooting from long range out of the fridge on the bottom left.
A mistake here by Grumpiness, cleaning up those defenses. Did have the opportunity to push through. Never stop running through if you have the opportunity. Units can be brought to reinforce these areas, even if you destroy those defenses. Getting the units through is all important. Just like on this right-hand side, we do have those pawns that are running through. Some of them are being eaten, some of them are being shot. I don't think they're going to get through, but nearly, if they'd gone with those ticks, I reckon they would have. And the top left-hand side, we do have these hoplites cleaning up best they can, but stouts pushing in, and on the ramp above, we have the slow
bases breach Praetor. Looking down the bottom right, we do have quite a few units coming through and an insane amount of ticks. This should be able to find the eco, and there will be hopefully chain reaction out of the advanced construction turrets.
Don't even go for the advanced construction turrets. Get yourself in and around. And oh, there we go. That did work out for them quite nicely. Dead Nova has been completely reset. Their eco has basically been stripped out. But we do have those gladiators coming out from Kokado, who was doing his job very, very well.
Liking the reach
getting
around.
ready to clean these ones up. But the ticks have found other areas, and they're spreading out and doing a good bit of damage here. What they need to do is find the pain points that they can make. Also, we do have a couple of stouts trying to break their way in, but the top side also under a lot of threat here at the moment, but this is going to be a good amount of metal. Lineup doing a great job of holding this one, but the pressure does continue, and Big Justin is in trouble, but these defensive bastions are so strong. They are expensive, but they are so strong. Very little from the T1 side of things is going to get past them, which is one of the reasons why we usually leave Legion to the very last game of the night, because whilst we are very, very balanced for the other play styles, there are certain things in Legion that change. Well, Legion changes quite a lot, so we're never fully up to date on them. It does look like the Kings have managed to hold that early aggression, and now they're using the gladiators that they brought out to defend to try and get onto the offensive, and gladiators are quite a strong defensive unit. Unfortunately for the peasants, Perspec, the comm that tried to walk in and grab the reclaim, has made the decision to walk away from the T2 units instead of towards them, which unfortunately is not going to result in a survival. So the Kings have held, but their economy has stalled to do that. Lots of units coming out. However, Kokado is back into that APHIS production, which means that the peasants are on a ticking time bomb. We do need those co-op corners to start pumping those T2 units and get back into the offensive lanes. You know that there's a massive gap in the bottom right-hand side, which means that it is, if the bottom right-hand side was a little bit further ahead with Eco, it would be their turn to kick on and start pumping the damage. Top left is continuing the pressure, but with the Prometheus out and with plenty of units coming through, this is going to be a hard lane to crack now.
Potato is building up a lot of units on the top right. We got Jags and Ticks. I wouldn't be surprised if they push through, but they are standing right in front of a whole bunch of medium mines. Medium mines doing quite a bit of damage to Jags. They're not going to be able to push out that easily. The Ticks maybe are going to be there to just clean those up. Still being pushed by Ticks on the bottom right. We've got Dead Nova losing the forward construction turrets, and one getting through. Is there anything here to skill this? There's a commander. Can this here find some conversion? Imagine if this one tick got right into the middle where there's conversion. Can you imagine?
I mean, it will be reclaimed.
Yes, for
but
sure.
It is getting good scouting information, and if it can find a spot, it might do some serious damage. The best you can hope for is something like the Gladiator. If this had happened a few seconds later, the Gladiators might have actually fired enough to destroy the Advanced Energy Converter, but unfortunately not. And this is just one of the things to bear in mind. Constant pressure from the peasants will find gaps. It will push in. We saw that last week. The bottom right-hand corner just did not let up, and eventually the units broke through.
We do have a push out of Pormont on the right. Now up to 2 AFIS going into the third. I do love a spider push. The only change I'd make to this is... Oh, there is a Weber in the back. I was going to say, always follow these with Webers so they can reclaim whatever gets killed.
And this is going to be... There's basically nothing to stop this here. The Wolverines are great for sieging, but you do need something up here to stop the Recluse, because they are on a warpath right now, and they should be able to get in quite nicely. Zersen does have the opportunity to snipe them, but not turning his comm invisible could result in a very
Pormont
dead
is
comm, but close
AFK.
enough. No.
Not microing those units, just sending them straight in and going back to
4%.
eco.
4% survival right there. Ooh. I don't know if you've seen this on the bottom right, but
yeah, we'll see what happens
really
there.
good defenses though, out of the red players. Very, very hard to make their way in right now. I do like the tech that's going on right now, though. The blitzers, unfortunately, do not trade very well against welders. Welders are a super strong unit for defense against T1. They're also pretty good against T2 as well. I like this though. One of the things we don't talk about, but we should talk about, changes to the there we go. The counter intrusion has been put down, which means that those tanks are no longer safe at all. They need to get the damage that they can in, and then get out or spread out so they can't be dealt with. And that's not the place to be dealing the damage. Try to run in, because even though they can see you with that ring around you, they can't actually damage you until you turn visible or they shoot manually. So was still a possibility there.
We do have the Sharknado still in damage.
As I was saying, I don't remember what I was saying.
Karkanos wrapping around up on the wind on the left there. We've got leg space slowly going down. And these shoot quite quickly, so coming up against T1 economy, it takes it out quite quickly. And that's a T2 lab down, all economy down for one peasant. And the great thing about these Karkanos... Oh no, I'm getting them mixed with something else. What's the one that can... Infester, they can rebuild themselves. Yeah. Thinking of Infestors.
But the Infestor is quite a weak unit, and it does look like these will be cleaned up with the snipers if the snipers can get energy, which at the moment they are just not doing. One of the things which is very common, the left and the right position do not have backers, which means that they are the easiest for the Kings to break, which means that strong players in this area just holding is very, very good for the peasants.
In Maz's lane, we have all these tremors that were just firing on the ground, but a few units have managed to get through, and now they're taking them out. They are actually going to get cleaned up before these fat boys get here, and that is because the Overseer deflects the fat boy shot. This is a plasma bullet, so I did think they were going to go down, but those shots just dropping to the ground once hitting that shield. Well played.
Does it look like the Kings in a pretty good position, even though there was some good attacks. Unfortunately, it was only in a handful of spots, so players were able to come over and help from the left and right side and clean up those units. Even though it was a very good aggressive start out of a few of the peasants, we still need to see more aggression, because now we're starting to see that counter push out of the Kings, and the counter push out of the Kings can be very, very strong. With
Tell you what.
3,700 metal to burn a second, the Kings can produce a lot of units.
Kato with almost 2,000 of that to himself. It's actually 1.5-ish. Now, one of the best things they're doing, they're actually spending it all, not overflowing, putting it into more eco, more labs, and T3 coming down. It's been going all into eco until now, 2 T3 labs just being dropped. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the likes of Sol and Victus come straight out. I am wrong. We're going into the Myrmidons. Long range.
And this is why that early aggression is so important. When the units were flooding in, Kokado was producing tanks instead of eco. Left alone like this, he's just been able to scale to the point where now he can patch lanes and produce eco at the same time, which means that unless there are strong co-op corners, which at the moment we are seeing, we're seeing some okay co-op corners, but nothing too crazy. For the 20-minute mark, we would like to see at least 10 APHIS in one of the in multiple of the corners, but we are not seeing that right now. And with the eco in the
top left's going alright. Everywhere else struggling. Bottom left's not too bad, so these guys will come online at some point, but they are still getting quite well pressured. There are a ton of Infernos coming out of the fringe. They are now being supported as well by the Gladiators. Sorry, the names are a little bit slow to be said because I don't know Legion too well.
No, we do not know Legion. We also do not know how to balance the game for Legion. Does look like we've got a pause going on over here, right hand side.
I'm not too sure what that's for.
What is the problem? I'm not seeing a
Nikru. Where's Nikru? That's who paused it on the bottom right. If they're lagging, please just resume the game. It's too bad. Did we not turn a unit off? I just read that you can't build Ambassador or Arbiter at the moment. Where is a...
I'm not sure. They are
they're
turned on for Throne. Yeah, they are turned on for... Sorry, the only
Raptors.
one they turned off for is Throne, because the space availability versus the resource availability makes them makes it impossible for the Kings. But here it's all good. If you can essentially, if you can build it,
then you can build it.
then you can build it. Yeah, we turn them off in the tweaks.
Yeah. There's different game modes different maps result in different rules needing to be applied. Obviously. Now, here's the
top side under threat right now. We do have those infestors starting to make their way up. And very little defenses right here. I do believe this player may have forgotten that spiders exist. And infestors are a terrifying spider because they don't deal the most damage, but they do enough, and then they can eat what they've killed and they can build more of themselves, hence the name. Thankfully, a whole chunk of them being taken out right there by the fusions detonating, and we do also have a bastion, and look how quickly that just eats through them. Still, that is another peasant eliminated, and the King's in a very good spot right now. The eco player in the middle has ecoed enough, 5,000 eco for the Kings right now. That is almost an insurmountable amount.
Using the Decurions, so we're seeing the equivalent of the Stout and the Brute push in the form of Decurions. These will definitely do better against spam. They're not going to have as much of a punch though. Those plasma shots out of the Brute and the Stout do a lot of damage, whereas the Decurions, it's a slower burn. Have we got another pause? What is this one for? This is McGhost. Where are you?
Okay. Who is pausing?
I think that was just a double tap, that second one.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if it's still since the last updates. There is a bit of an issue with lagging in the game. A lot of players, including myself, I'm getting a lot less frames per second. In fact, I'm only getting 11 right now.
One of the things to bear in mind with 50 odd people left in the lobby. Oh, sorry, that's comms. There's actually 60 odd people in the lobby. We consider pausing if it's a king, and even then we tend to pause just so that someone else can take. But for a peasant, unfortunately, we just cannot pause the game for a catch up because we're essentially holding everyone else hostage there.
You know, one thing I'm wondering with this the comment I just made about the lag, if it's since the last update, I am noting now that since then there has been the balance between the unit population cap. So kings now get a bigger share of the unit population cap. I think they get like 25 or 30% between them, rather than this unit cap being split by every player in the map, which meant that every player got like 200, 300 units. This means that there's a lot more spam coming out of the king, so potentially more units. There are 10,000 units on the map right now. I'm not going to bandbox that because I'd like to actually exist in the game. Probably lag me
I'm
out.
going to bandbox that.
You can let us know how many there are.
There are 1,300 units on the map.
How much is on the map? Hold down shift when you do that bandbox.
Oh, if I shift it, it selects everything. There's 9,644 units.
Pretty close with the
if you
10K
include
then.
buildings.
Yeah, so that would be where a lot of this lag is coming from then as well. We're seeing a lot more out of the kings in terms of units than we would previously to about a month ago when that update came through. And big thank you to the devs that assisted with getting that working, not just for King of the Hill, but for all games out there. Demons doing work on the south.
I would say that King of the Hill most certainly is one of them that utilizes the shift in unit cap more than most others. I would say that there are not that many there's not that many game modes that require asymmetrical teams.
Yeah, we do appreciate that a lot. And if anyone has suggestions while we're at it for this game mode for King of the Hill, jump on over to our Discord. You can search for AllReasonNoLogic. We host these every week, and we do appreciate the support. Anyone that wants to come and help out, or anyone that just wants to join the fun. If you want to coordinate in one of these eco corners, or just with your players around the local spot in your map, jump in one of the channels in our Discord, and you can have a chat there. I know there's quite a few that jump in there every week. Got a good community. Thank you to all those players that jump on over to our Discord.
Now, you were talking before about Sol Invictus. It does look like we've got experimental gantries out of Kokaido, and he has decided that it is time to end this game.
He has 8 of them. Giving them off to Mazza though, I do like that. So he's turned into the real industrial production facility of the team. Just sending those units out where they're needed most, where they're going to make the most impact, I should say. I don't think they're actually needed anywhere in particular. Every lane is being held by the Kings. Where is the biggest threat out of the peasants? I don't see any big T3 coming in massive ways. We do have Sol Invictus coming out of Potato, but it's going to be up in a while.
So, something just to note, the top left-hand side, they're just pinged should we push. With the T1 units only backed up by a couple of Thanatos, the answer is no. You don't have what you need to break in. Right now, this is one of the best spots to push in, but you don't have what you need. Get some T2 units here to back it up, and then try and make or break for the middle, because if you get anything near the middle of the map, heck, the best place to try and kill is Big Justin. If you take out Big Justin because of the way that his base is built, any of this conversion will chain react absolutely everything in the base. And that chain reaction will hit the big advanced converter stack, that advanced converter stack will hit the advanced constructor stack, and it will clear the middle of the map. The peasants need to break somewhere in order to punch in.
The reason why Justin's is the best is that you've got these converters that are built against the AFS. So if that AFS goes pop, that's going to jump across to all of Kokaido's eco. Always separate your conversion from your AFS or big explosions on the left.
Yes, and speaking of big explosions on the left, does it look like 117 Decurions followed by 12 Daedalus are managing to do some big punching. And even though we do have the Sol Invictus trying to break their way, trying to be built to defend this is going to be a lot for them to defend. And even if they do, they're losing their front line, and losing the front line is going to be a problem. And the Daedalus hammering the one Sol Invictus that is there, walking into range of those Decurions, is just adding DPS to the fire, and it is going to go down nice and quick. Trying to just get as much damage done as possible. You need to have a volume of firepower to deal with this. One T3 unit just is not enough. And this push is happening on all sides as well. On the, oh my god, comm, I just caught that on the bottom left-hand side. Sorry, I didn't see whose comm that was. I think that was 3 Sol Invictus taken down by a comm, and hopefully we'll see even more. But they are doing the right thing. They're pulling back to get inside of the goblin spam, making it near impossible to get sniped. You have to, when you have these big expensive T3 units, even if you're in the position the Kings are in right now, which is a very, very strong one, you do still have to play smart, because they are 27,000 metal. You cannot just throw them away willy-nilly.
The Kings now getting out in almost every avenue. We've got 2 Kings pushing on the south. Paulmont is out on the west that's the east, with the Thors pushing up, and they're about to get the pop of those APHIS. They have been seen, I believe. Have you? They have not. There's just a whole bunch of blue dots, but they will see them soon. Those Thors are now pushing forward with the Vanguard supporting as soon as those shields go down. And hot tip, if you see a shield and you have a Thor, EMP the shield, and then the Vanguard's behind for a free shot.
Oh, that's really smart. I hadn't even thought of that, but yeah, that'd work.
It definitely
and you don't even need to see the shield, because you can see the dome, which means you know where the shield is. Just target the center.
That's it. It's actually a really good tactic for throwing, is getting a Thor with your Vanguards, just to get those. Pop goes the APHIS. I'm on catch up. Pradoth, you probably saw it a little bit before me. Top right is being pushed by Hot Potato as well. We got the spam. We got Thors as well. The Thor wagon. And on the top, the Daedalus are slowly moving their way around with those fast shots coming out of those. It's like a multi-weapon. There's six cannons on each of these things. They look awesome.
I do like those ones. Does look like the top left is about to go up in flames as well. Big Justin's units are targeting those APHIS, and they are clumped up close enough to the edge that we're going to see a big explosion. Not a lot of DPS out of these javelins though. Taking quite a while to take one of them down, but it is going to happen, and that is the top left-hand side cleared out, and the bottom left-hand side about to be the same. And now it is just the right hand. Now it is just clean up on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side it'll be a bit of a fight in this bottom right hand corner. They are trying to do their best to push in, but there is just too much T3 coming out. As has been noted in the chat, it is currently about 400% income in favor of the Kings. Unfortunately, the plus 75 is it scales very, very quickly if it is allowed to do so.
There was a really good amount of units at the start for the peasants, I think.
But it tapered off very quickly.
Yeah, probably that was the opportunity to get the win. They pushed. The peasants definitely did push. Just it was lost very quickly. I don't know if just maybe the right avenues weren't found. It was probably just an unfortunate thing, really.
Yes, and the other thing that is also mentioned, it scales even faster with Legion, which is 100% true. Those T1.5 mexes, one of the things to bear in mind with exponential scaling, every additional metal you can get earlier makes a big difference. So this T1.5 mexes actually make a pretty big difference for the Kings. We definitely do need to, if we do have Legion on, we do need to tone down the bonus for the middle. The plus 75 worked very well last week, but we definitely didn't have as strong a performance out of the eco corners as we did last time. At 30 minutes, I do believe the bottom right-hand side had about 20 APHIS between the players there, and at the moment they have 12 fusions and 3 APHIS, which is a very, very big difference, and that comes down to the very early parts of the game. Your efficiency in the first 10 minutes makes a crazy difference.
Is Sol Invictus now pushing down on the right? I mean, for you, it's probably already been done. I think I might need to upgrade my computer ever since, yeah, a couple months ago. I'm just not keeping up quite as well.
It is quite the big game. I've made some adjustments to my computer to try to keep up, because I was one of the ones lagging behind before. Currently running an 11900KS, sitting at a nice and warm 5.2 gigahertz on all cores, and it's sitting in a water cooling rig with about 9 kilos of radiator to keep that one running. Definitely not the most optimal CPU for this. The game certainly focuses a lot of its logic processors onto a single core, which means that something like an X3D chip with that extra L3 cache will absolutely dominate in that sort of situation. One of the things I would love to build myself is a 9950 X3D chip. Chip computer, mostly because I love the idea of tinkering. It has 16 cores, 8 of them have the X3D cache, and 8 of them don't, so they clock higher just because of how they're made. The X3D cache sits above the chip, which means that it has a thermal barrier, so it can't dissipate its heat as efficiently. There is an X3D2 coming out in that chip that has the 3DV cache underneath the die instead of on top, which will allow them to do it with all 16 cores with the 3D cache without the thermal limits. But I kind of like the tinkering, so I'm going to try and get a 9950 X3D, but probably going to miss out on this entire generation because it's very hard to justify a new computer when the only problem that I have is running 54 player games.
And as for me, my computer, I just have a computer. I have no idea what it is. Definitely not that tech savvy. And it is struggling at the moment though. And I don't know what it is that's been different in the last month or two. Usually my computer historically with AMD worked quite well with bar, so I'll have to do a little bit of research. But I need to upgrade it.
Twig has always gone with the best price to performance ratio. I've definitely leaned towards buying previous generations so that I can have entirely Halo products. So, for example, I've got the Z590 Waterforce board, which I think is the prettiest motherboard that's ever been made. And I've also got things like the power supply that has a screen on the side that tells you all the stats. None of which were the best choices as far as cost to performance go, but if you buy them one generation old, they're actually no more expensive than a regular product. The MSRP of the... Sorry, we've gotten quite distracted talking about PCs. But this one has been a bit of a dominant performance out of the Kings. The Legion plus the lack of co-op in the corners, as well as the units turning off once the initial aggression happens.
Build power as well. I'm pretty sure we did have that on last week though. Or at least
Oh look, this is exactly the same as we had last week, and the peasants were. It was a hard game, but the peasants absolutely won that one through some good plays, and they just kept the aggression running. All right, ladies and gentlemen, does look like there's no comms left. There we go. That is the end of the match. So a little bit of a wash by the Kings, but they were allowed to scale in the middle, and there was less scaling around the outside, which does make it a little hard. We do try to balance somewhat based off of players, but player numbers, but also based off of players. And we just need to remember that if Cookado is in the middle, he needs less of a bonus. He scales. Well, I just want, like, looking at the start of the game, he built basically exactly the amount of tanks needed to hold, and then went straight back into eco, reclaimed the lab, got the fusions, and then got to the point where he could produce. It was the exact same thing last time I played the middle position. When I played the middle position, it looked like the Kings were ludicrously unfair, and that is the hard line. The balance needs to matter for the players that are going to be holding, as well as not letting them scale. Quick look at those graphs, and we'll see the economy right here. So up until the 17-minute mark, nothing too crazy, but after that, Cookado just absolutely flew away with it. I reckon that you could add up the area under the graph for Cookado, and it would equal the rest of the game combined.
Yeah, it's insane amounts. And you can see, I mean, it's gone now. Go back in the replay. It was quite
and also having
massive.
Having a look at the damage dealt graph, you can see all of the Kings got onto the damage dealt graph with the exception of 2 of them, and even they were on it just at the start. They just didn't keep that pressure up afterwards. And for the peasants, you can see in that very early 10-minute mark, only a handful of lines actually start rising. It's very hard to show this, but there looks to be only about 5 or 6 Kings that really did damage before that 12-minute mark. 5 or 6 peasants that did damage before that 12-minute mark, and that is more of a factor than the bonus than anything else.
Protecting that mid eco really meant the explosions happened there for Cookado at the end of the match. That's it for us, I reckon, tonight, Kratos.
I do believe it is. So I hope the Kings enjoyed their opportunity to throw their weight around a bit. But you know what that means for next week? It means that no matter what you do, the bonus is going to be lower.
I'm just going to message 2 Pumps, see if he's doing after party. Don't think I can give him a boss. Maybe that can be Nightmare off Loke and boss grumpiness. $sign, by the way, Pro.
Yep.
Anyone that's over on the official stream, if you like these, if you want to throw your support, jump over to AllReasonNoLogic's Twitch and hit that follow button. We're trying to get to that partner stage that Pradeath was mentioning earlier with Twitch, and yeah, maybe just maybe after multiple years, I'll be able to afford the part that needs to stop this game from lagging.
Johnny Drop Tables, thank you, my man. I love computer tinkering. One of my favorite things is that I'm running a NVIDIA card and an Intel card for very, very different things. And in the past, I religiously ran SLI and all that other stuff. There's something particularly fun about that. If you ever want to talk about RAM, my DDR4 is running at 4400 at CL13, which is redonkulous for DDR4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to be your entertainment for tonight. If there is the option of a raid, we'll keep the stream running so that can happen. And beyond that, I reckon that's going to be it for Twig and I. Jump in if you want to see another game, jump on over to YouTube. There is another cast that should be live by now. That one I think is probably the best game of Bar. We were planning on recasting it instead of using the live cast, but unfortunately for us, it took place during the 10 or so day window where replays don't run at full speed, which meant that we could not do that. So unfortunate there, but it is still a very good game even with the live cast. Join us on our Discord. Join us on our Wednesday nights for Co-op versus AI, and other than that, we will see you in the next one.
And if any of the mods can reapply the open up. I've just stuffed it, of course. Rejoin the queue, people. They'll open it up again.
All right, gents, and that is it from me. I'm going to swap us over to that end of stream screen.
I might just do a quick raid. Oh, it's crashed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic.